All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Jer. Welcome back to Stock Voyager. Today, I'm going to do a versus. I haven't done a versus in a while, but we're going to do a versus. We are going to do our stock versus PIK stock, our pass versus KidPik stocks. I'm going to start off by saying it is my opinion that neither of these stocks are investable yet. I would not invest in them. That is my opinion. You do what you want to do. I can't hit buy for you. I can't hit sell for you, and I can't hold for you. So, I'm not your financial advisor. So, with that being said, they are tradable stocks. Every single stock is a tradable stock. You wait for the day, throughout the day or the day, that it finds support. Get in. Wait, once you feel you found support in that stock, get in. Wait for it to come up and find a resistance, and you're for sure that, or you feel like it's the end resistance for the day, then get out. Take your profit, take your profit increase on what you have, get out, be done. You made however much percent. That's how I made 34% on our a couple of days ago. 34% is a really great return whenever you're thinking about, or whenever you compare it to, like, banking, which are savings, which gives you like a point whatever percent, and you're getting 34% in one day on your money. That's pretty good. So if you had like 1,000, that's 340. If you had 10,000, that's 3,400. If you had 100,000, that's 34,400. Or yeah, 34,000. That's amazing. So anyway, I'm not gonna talk anymore on that. We're gonna look at and compare our and PIK. First off, we will do our loop. This is the hour loop DD report that I did a couple days ago. Let me pull it up on my phone so I can see it, because I can't really see it clearly on here. You guys get a much clearer version of this than I do on my screen. Okay. E-commerce. They are an Amazon marketplace with thousands of items and online store, hourloop.com, with collectibles. Their revenue was $38 million in the last 4 quarters, and they made a profit of $2.9 million. Shares are 96%, or 33 million shares, are locked up until July 2022. Their free float officially is 1.5 million shares. The free float market cap at this time was 10 million. It's actually lower than that now because it has dropped off of where it was at this point. Their revenue per employee is $64,000. They plan to use their IPO proceeds to double the amount of employees and products in 2022, while adding over 150 new vendors in this next year. Operations began in 2013. Okay, great, cool. So that's where we stand with our. The reason you kind of want to compare is because even if you're trading, the stock that you choose to trade in, you want to make sure that fundamentals look good, that there's not a lot of like red flags, that usually if you're trading, you want a lower float stock. That helps, but you can do it with any float, obviously. So that's important. Those things are important. You want to know numbers. You want to know some fundamentals and kind of catalyst, because if you get stuck in this stock, then you don't want to be stuck with a totally worthless piece of junk. Okay, so now we will look at KidPik, or KidPik. All right. So this is the updated DD that I did earlier today. This can be found on stockvoyager.com. It is the only place that I've shared it so far. Okay, so Ezra Dabaugh was a CEO of Children's Place for 15 years, so he has experience. Their numbers are a little bit lower. They did 21 million in revenue over the last 4 quarters, and they lost 5 million. And they were, as of yesterday, trading at 2.26 times rev, which is kind of higher for a low cap stock. But yeah, so yeah, the low cap stocks usually end up trading. It's anywhere from like below 1 to like 3 or 4. Usually in between is kind of higher range though. Usually they trade about 1 times revenue just because you don't know how long they're going to last and they haven't really gained a proven track record. Okay, institutional ownership here is 7.29%, owned by Ionic Ventures. What they do, they make they're kind of like a Stitch Fix for kids. I don't know if there is a Stitch Fix for kids, so you'd want to kind of look at that and find out on first, because if there is a Stitch Fix for kids, they may be doing better or and have better um, uh, market share and be able to uh, control their budget better, if because Stitch Fix is a bigger conglomerate, like they are bigger, so they can actually do more. Um, Low float. Now, originally on the video yesterday, I said the float was 108,000 because that's what Webull shows. But I just got updated information this morning that, and I did a video on it, that their float is actually 2.8 million according to Benzinga. And I trust Benzinga more than I trust Webull. So their float is a little bit higher than what we originally thought. And it's a little bit higher than our, which was, pull it up here, which was 1.5 million float. The lower the float, the better, because of the quicker it can move, but also the quicker it can move lower. So there was a price target of $10 a share set by EF Hutton, but something you need to understand is EF Hutton, according to the prospectus, owned 2+ million shares. So of course they want a larger, higher market cap or market target price because they own a lot of shares. So they want to make as much as they can from it. Lockup end dates: 2,117,000 shares were available at prospectus, which kind of are per prospectus at IPO, which kind of goes against the 2.8 million. There's just so many questions about this IP or about the float, because how did they get 2.8 million float whenever available shares at the IPO was 2.1 million. It's just a lot of numbers. So a lot of things to be considered of and beware of. Another 2,919,000 shares unlock in February. And then another 2,500,000 shares unlock in May. I don't know that they can do another offering. I don't know what the rules are after IPO, how long they have before they can do an offering. If the offering can't come until 180 days after the IPO per the prospectus, or if they can just do one at any time. And that's the same fear I have for our, in that I don't know if they can do another offering, and their share lockup goes until July. But once that unlocks in July, it'll be 33 million shares that come onto the market all at once. If the CEO wants to sell the shares at that point, because the most of the shares are owned by the CEO. For our, that's not for. I think most of the shares for KidPik are probably owned by the CEO too, of KidPik. So it'll kind of depend on if they want to sell their shares or not. Again, KidPik, both of them are kind of struggling and need more funds. I would not be surprised if we see another offering. It's just a matter of when. The thing about stocks like this is you can do whatever. I do not trade them pre-market or after hours, and I don't hold overnight, because that is usually, I've never seen an offering happen during the trading day. I don't think that they can do it. They might be able to, but it's very, very unlikely that they would do it. Usually offerings happen after hours or pre-market. So that is, I try to avoid stocks like this that need more money, that may rely on another offering. trading them pre-market or after hours and holding them overnight is a no-go for me. You can do what you want, trust your instinct, do whatever you want, obviously. What I do is totally different. I don't hold overnight, and I do not trade pre-market or after hours. It's just the volume goes way lower, and if you're buying a lot, then you're not going to, it's just not worth it. If you have a lot, if you own a lot of shares, it's not worth it to trade pre-market or after hours. Just leave it alone. My opinion. Okay, so that is the versus KidPik versus hour. For me, for numbers and fundamentals, I go with hour. However, that's for trading. That's not for investing long term. If I see PIK go low enough and find a support, I would get in. If I see hour go low enough and find a support, I would get in. You have to wait for it to find support. Like I said, any stock is tradable. It's just a matter of picking out the best one that you can make the biggest percentage on day trading. That's trading. If you want to do flipping, do flipping. If that's what you want, I don't advise it, but flip, or what do they call it? Swing trade. Swing trade it. Flip actually is trading, but swing trade it if you want. Up to you. I just don't hold overnight. And usually swing trades are like 2 or 3 days or longer, and I just won't do that. The only thing I hold overnight is investments I make, and usually I'm really, really sure before I make an investment and hold it. And then even then, I have a price target that I get out at and take my profit. And because you don't want to be too greedy, even with investments. So, okay, that's all I have. If you liked the video, be sure to like it. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe. And I will see you all very soon. Love ya. Bye. Mwah.